Expect nothing from anyone and enjoy your life. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest reasons people lose their peace is because they expect too much from others. They expect constant attention, endless loyalty, perfect understanding, and appreciation in return for everything they do. But when those expectations are not fulfilled, their hearts become filled with disappointment, sadness, and frustration. The truth is, people are imperfect. They forget, they change, and they sometimes fail us without intending to. Allah never created your heart to depend on people for peace. He created it to depend on Him alone. The less you expect from people, the less they can disturb your happiness. When your hope is in Allah instead of human beings, your heart becomes lighter, your mind becomes calmer, and your life becomes filled with a peace that no person can take away. 1. Expectations are the beginning of many disappointments. My beloved brothers and sisters, expectations often begin quietly. You help someone, and deep inside, you expect them to help you the same way one day. You listen to someone, and you expect them to listen when you are hurting. You love someone sincerely, and you expect them to always understand your heart. You sacrifice your time, your energy, and your comfort, and you expect appreciation in return. These expectations may seem natural, but when they become too strong, they place your peace in human hands. The pain often comes not from what happened, but from what you thought should have happened. You thought they would call. You thought they would remember. You thought they would defend you. You thought they would notice your effort. You thought they would never change. Then reality did not match the picture in your mind, and the heart became heavy. This is how expectation turns into disappointment. The mind creates a promise that the other person never made, and the heart suffers when that promise is not fulfilled. Expectations become especially dangerous when they are hidden. Many people never communicate what they need, but they silently expect others to know. They say, if they truly cared, they would understand. But people cannot always read your heart. They may love you and still not know what you need in a particular moment. They may be sincere and still fail to notice your pain. When you expect people to understand everything without clear communication, you create suffering for yourself and pressure for them. Wisdom is knowing when to speak clearly and when to release what is beyond your control. There are also expectations that come from comparison. You may see how someone else is treated and begin expecting the same from people around you. You may think, why does their family appreciate them more? Why do their friends support them more? Why does their life look easier? But Allah writes different tests and different relationships for every person. Comparison increases expectation, and expectation increases pain. When your eyes are always on how others are loved, you may become blind to the mercy Allah has placed in your own life. The believer learns to examine expectations before they become wounds. Ask yourself, am I doing this for Allah or because I want a certain reaction? Am I giving sincerely, or am I giving so that I can later demand something in return? Am I upset because someone was truly unjust, or because they did not behave according to the story I created in my mind? These questions are not meant to blame you. They are meant to free you. A heart that understands its own expectations becomes less controlled by them. This does not mean you should accept mistreatment or stop valuing respect. Islam teaches justice. If someone repeatedly harms you, uses you, lies to you, or disrespects your dignity, you are allowed to set boundaries. Expecting less from people does not mean tolerating abuse. It means not demanding perfection from imperfect hearts. It means knowing the difference between normal human limitation and genuine harm. You forgive what can be forgiven, but you also protect your peace with wisdom. Many disappointments become smaller when you remember that people are also struggling. The person who forgot to ask about you may be carrying worries you do not know. The person who seemed distant may be fighting a private battle. The person who failed to appreciate you may not have learned how to express gratitude. This does not excuse every action, but it softens the heart. It helps you stop taking every failure personally. Sometimes people fall short because they are limited, not because you are worthless. When expectations are reduced, gratitude increases. A small kindness begins to feel beautiful because you no longer demand it. A message becomes a gift instead of a requirement. A favor becomes appreciated instead of expected. A loving word becomes a mercy instead of something owed to you. This is a lighter way to live. Your heart stops keeping accounts of what everyone failed to do and starts noticing what Allah still gives through people. The greatest peace comes when you stop expecting people to reward you for what you did for Allah. If you helped someone sincerely, your reward is with Allah. If you were patient, Allah saw it. If you forgave, Allah knew the pain it cost you. If you gave kindness and received silence, Allah did not forget. Do not let the lack of human appreciation make you regret a good deed. The deed was never lost if it was done for Allah. My beloved brothers and sisters, expectations are heavy because they try to control what cannot be controlled. You cannot control how people respond, how deeply they understand, how long they stay, or whether they appreciate you fully. But you can control your intention. You can control your sincerity. You can control whether you return your disappointment to Allah or let it poison your heart. The more you release expectations, the more space you create for peace. So begin gently. Do not demand that every person become exactly what you need. Do not expect every act of kindness to return through the same person. Do not measure your worth through what others give back. Do good, but do it for Allah. Love people, but do not make them the owners of your happiness. When expectations become lighter, life becomes easier to enjoy. You begin smiling more, worrying less, and trusting Allah with what people cannot give. 2. People are imperfect, but Allah is perfect. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest sources of disappointment is expecting perfection from people who are not perfect. Every human being has weaknesses. Every person has moods, limits, fears, wounds, and moments of forgetfulness. Even the people who love you sincerely may sometimes say the wrong thing, fail to notice your sadness, or become busy when you need them. If you expect people to behave perfectly at all times, you will spend your life feeling hurt. People can love you and still misunderstand you. They can care about you and still disappoint you. They can have good intentions and still make mistakes. They can promise support and later become unable to provide it. This is not always because they are bad. It is because they are human. When you remember this, your heart becomes more patient. You stop turning every human mistake into a personal betrayal. You start viewing people with mercy, because you know that you too are imperfect and in need of Allah's mercy. Allah alone is perfect. His knowledge is complete. His mercy is vast. His wisdom has no flaw. He does not misunderstand your intentions. He does not forget your sacrifices. He does not become tired of your dua. He does not leave you because your emotions are heavy. He knows every hidden part of your story. When you compare the limits of people to the perfection of Allah, you begin understanding why your deepest dependence must belong to Him alone. Many people become emotionally exhausted because they run to people first and Allah last. When something hurts them, they immediately search for someone to call, someone to message, someone to reassure them. There is nothing wrong with seeking support from trustworthy people, but the heart becomes weak when it forgets Allah in the process. Before you run to creation, turn to the Creator. Before you ask people to understand, ask Allah to strengthen you. Before you seek comfort from others, seek comfort in remembrance. The perfection of Allah means that nothing in your life is random. People may act without understanding the effect of their words, but Allah knows the effect of everything. People may leave without explanation, but Allah knows what their presence or absence means for your journey. People may disappoint you, but Allah can use even disappointment to teach you patience, wisdom, and emotional independence. What people do imperfectly, Allah can turn into a path of growth perfectly. When people fail you, your heart has two choices. It can become bitter or it can become wiser. Bitterness says, I will never trust anyone again. Wisdom says, I will trust people with balance and trust Allah completely. Bitterness closes the heart. Wisdom protects the heart without making it hard. Islam teaches us this balance. We do not become naive, but we also do not become cruel. We learn from people's limitations and return our deepest hope to Allah. Allah's perfection also means His timing is perfect, even when people delay, forget, or fail. Perhaps you expected someone to help you, but they did not. Perhaps you expected a door to open through a certain person, but it closed. Perhaps you thought your happiness depended on one relationship, but Allah removed it from your life. At the time, it may feel painful. Later, you may realize that Allah was redirecting you towards something better or protecting you from something unseen. Do not place perfect expectations on imperfect people. Your parents may love you but not always understand your emotional needs. Your friends may care but not always know how to show up. Your spouse may be sincere but still learning how to communicate. Your children may love you but still become busy with their own lives. Your relatives may mean well but speak without wisdom. People are not Allah. When you stop expecting them to be, you become more peaceful. This understanding also helps you forgive more easily. Forgiveness does not mean pretending nothing happened. It does not mean allowing repeated harm. It means releasing the belief that people must repay every emotional debt exactly as you imagine. You can forgive someone's limitations while still setting boundaries. You can make dua for them while protecting your heart. You can let go of resentment because you know that Allah sees what happened and will never be unjust. A heart that trusts Allah's perfection becomes less shaken by human imperfection. When people forget you, Allah remembers you. When people misunderstand you, Allah knows you. When people leave, Allah remains. When people fail to appreciate your good, Allah has already recorded it. This certainty gives the believer dignity. You no longer chase people to prove that your efforts mattered. You know they mattered because Allah saw them. My beloved brothers and sisters, people are imperfect, but they can still be blessings. Do not become so disappointed by their flaws that you stop appreciating their good. A person may not meet every expectation, but they may still bring kindness into your life. Learn to see people realistically. Love them with mercy. Accept their good with gratitude. Protect yourself from their harm with wisdom. But place your complete reliance only upon Allah. The more you understand the difference between creation and creator, the lighter your heart becomes. You stop asking people to give what only Allah can give. You stop being shocked when humans act like humans. You stop making every disappointment a wound. Instead, you say, Allah is perfect and my trust is in Him. That trust becomes the foundation of peace. 3. The less you expect, the more peace you experience. My beloved brothers and sisters, when expectations are high, peace becomes fragile. The heart begins waiting for people to behave in a certain way before it allows itself to rest. It waits for a reply, a thank you, an apology, an invitation, a compliment, or a sign of love. When the expected thing comes, the heart feels calm for a moment. When it does not come, the heart becomes restless. This is not freedom. This is emotional dependence. The less you expect from people, the more space your heart has to breathe. You stop waking up with a list of what others must do for you to feel okay. You stop measuring your day by who remembered you. You stop giving every small action the power to control your mood. You begin living from a place of inner stability. This does not mean nothing affects you. You are human, but it means your peace is no longer completely controlled by the behavior of others. Low expectation does not mean low love. This is important. Some people think expecting less means caring less, but often expecting less allows you to love better. When you are not constantly demanding a certain response, relationships become lighter. You stop pressuring people to prove themselves every day. You stop turning every mistake into a crisis. You allow people to be human. This creates more mercy in your relationships and less anxiety in your heart. Many conflicts begin because expectations were never spoken, but resentment still grew. You expected someone to know what you needed, and they did not. You expected them to respond a certain way, and they failed. You expected them to value your effort exactly as you valued theirs. Then your heart became upset. Reducing expectations helps you become more honest and more peaceful. When something matters, communicate with kindness. When something is beyond your control, release it to Allah. The less you expect, the more grateful you become for what people do offer. When you stop feeling entitled to constant attention, a simple message feels beautiful. When you stop expecting everyone to understand your pain, one sincere listener becomes a blessing. When you stop demanding perfect loyalty from every person, you appreciate those who remain steady. Gratitude grows when entitlement decreases, and gratitude brings more peace than expectation ever can. Expecting less also protects you from disappointment in difficult seasons. People may become busy, life may change, someone who was once close may become distant for reasons you do not fully understand. If your heart expects life to remain the same forever, these changes will break you. But if you understand that people and seasons change, you can feel sadness without losing yourself. You can trust Allah through the change. Peace increases when you stop personalizing every human limitation. If someone does not call, it does not always mean they do not care. If someone cannot help, it does not always mean they are selfish. If someone forgets something important, it does not always mean you are not valued. Sometimes people are tired. Sometimes they are overwhelmed. Sometimes they are facing battles you know nothing about. Expecting less allows room for mercy. This does not mean you should remain in one-sided relationships forever. If you are always giving and someone constantly uses you, you may need boundaries. If you are repeatedly disrespected, you may need distance. Expecting less is not the same as accepting harm. It means you do not make your peace dependent on people becoming perfect. You still use wisdom. You still protect your dignity. You still choose healthy relationships. A heart that expects less becomes less reactive. It does not become angry over every small disappointment. It does not chase explanations for every silence. It does not panic when someone behaves differently. It pauses, reflects, and returns to Allah. This makes the person calmer, wiser, and easier to be around. Their peace is not because life is perfect. Their peace is because they have stopped demanding perfection from life. The world teaches us to expect more from people and less from Allah. Faith teaches the opposite. Expect less from people because they are limited. Expect more from Allah's mercy because He is limitless. Expect Allah to guide you, provide for you, heal you, and strengthen you. Expect that He will never waste your sincere effort. Expect that even when people disappoint you, Allah can bring good from what hurt you. My beloved brothers and sisters, peace is not found by controlling people. It is found by controlling what your heart depends on. If your heart depends on human behavior, it will remain anxious. If your heart depends on Allah, it will become steady. Let people be free to be human, and let your heart be free to trust Allah. The less you expect from creation, the more you enjoy life. You begin smiling without needing someone else to make you smile. You begin working without needing applause. You begin giving without keeping score. You begin living without carrying constant disappointment. This is not a weak life. It is a wise life. It is a life where your peace is protected by Tawakkul. 4. Gratitude brings more happiness than expectations. My beloved brothers and sisters, expectations focus on what is missing. Gratitude focuses on what Allah has already given. Expectations say, why did they not do more? Gratitude says, Alhamdulillah for what I still have. Expectations keep the heart hungry. Gratitude helps the heart feel full. This is why gratitude brings more happiness than expectations. It shifts your eyes away from what people failed to give and toward the countless mercies Allah continues to place in your life. Many people are surrounded by blessings but cannot enjoy them because they are focused on one disappointment. They have health, food, shelter, family, opportunities, and the ability to pray, yet their heart is consumed by someone who did not appreciate them. One person's silence becomes louder than 100 blessings. One failed expectation becomes heavier than all the good Allah has already given. Gratitude restores balance. It reminds the heart not to let one missing thing blind it to many existing blessings. Gratitude does not mean pretending you are never hurt. You can be grateful and still feel pain. You can thank Allah and still need healing. You can recognize your blessings and still make dua for what is missing. Gratitude is not denial, it is perspective. It says, yes, this part of my life is difficult, but Allah has not left me without mercy. This perspective keeps sadness from becoming despair. Expectations often make us blind to small acts of kindness. If you expect someone to do a lot, you may not appreciate the little they do. You may overlook a kind word because you wanted a grand gesture. You may ignore a small effort because you expected perfection. Gratitude helps you notice the good that exists, even when it is not complete. It makes relationships softer because you stop seeing people only through what they failed to do. Gratitude also protects you from entitlement. When the heart becomes entitled, it believes people owe it constant attention, appreciation, and support. It becomes upset whenever life does not serve it exactly as desired. But gratitude humbles the heart. It reminds you that every good thing is from Allah. Even the kindness of people is a mercy He allowed to reach you. When you see life this way, you become more thankful and less demanding. A grateful heart enjoys life more simply. It does not wait for perfect circumstances. It can find happiness in ordinary days, a peaceful morning, a warm meal, a sincere conversation, a moment of worship, a chance to rest, or a small improvement becomes meaningful. The heart begins seeing Allah's mercy in places it once ignored. This makes life lighter. You are no longer waiting for people to fulfill every expectation before you allow yourself to feel joy. Gratitude can also heal resentment. When you constantly think about what people failed to do, resentment grows. But when you remember what Allah has done for you, resentment loses some of its strength. You begin realizing that your life is not empty just because one person disappointed you. Allah has supported you through means you did not even notice. He has protected you from things you never saw. He has given you chances to begin again. This remembrance softens the heart. Make gratitude a daily practice. Do not wait until life is perfect. Every day, ask yourself what Allah gave you today that you would miss if it disappeared tomorrow. Your eyesight, your hearing, your ability to move, your home, your family, your breath, your prayer, your chance to repent, your access to food, your moments of peace. These are not small gifts. They are signs of Allah's continuous mercy. When you become grateful, you stop comparing so much. Expectations often grow when you look at others and think they have more. They have more love, more support, more money, more attention, more ease. But you do not know the full reality of their lives. Gratitude brings your attention back to your own path. It helps you say, Allah has given me what He knows is best for me right now, and I will use it well. A grateful person is easier to love because their heart is not always demanding. They appreciate effort, they notice kindness, they thank people without becoming dependent on them. They understand that nobody is perfect, so they value the good without denying the need for wisdom. This does not mean they accept harm. It means they do not make perfection the condition for appreciation. My beloved brothers and sisters, gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to enjoy life with peace. It turns ordinary moments into blessings. It turns small kindness into joy. It turns waiting into patience. It turns disappointment into reflection. It turns loneliness into a reminder that Allah is near. It turns what you have into enough for today. So expect less and thank more. Complain less and notice more. Demand less from people and ask more from Allah. The heart that lives with gratitude does not need everything to go perfectly before it feels peace. It learns to enjoy life through the blessings already present, and when gratitude grows, happiness grows with it. 5. Do good without waiting for recognition. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most beautiful forms of freedom is doing good without waiting for people to recognize it. Many people become hurt because they give kindness and then wait for appreciation. They help someone and wait to be thanked. They sacrifice and wait to be noticed. They support others and wait for the same support to return. When it does not happen, they feel used, invisible, and wounded. But a deed done for Allah is never wasted, even if people never acknowledge it. Recognition from people is pleasant, but it should not be the reason you do good. If your kindness depends on being praised, your heart will become tired quickly. People may forget. People may take your help for granted. People may not understand how much effort something cost you. If your reward is expected from them, disappointment will grow. But if your reward is sought from Allah, your heart remains peaceful, because Allah never forgets. Before doing something good, check your intention. Ask yourself, am I doing this for Allah, or am I doing it so this person will finally value me? Am I helping because it is right, or because I want to be seen as important? Will I regret this kindness if nobody thanks me? These questions purify the heart. They do not make you less kind. They make your kindness more sincere. There is a special beauty in hidden good deeds. A prayer made for someone who does not know. A charity given quietly. A harmful word swallowed for Allah's sake. A favor done without announcement. A moment of patience that nobody witnessed. These deeds may seem small to the world, but they are known to Allah. Hidden sincerity can carry great weight because it is protected from showing off and from dependence on people's applause. Doing good without recognition does not mean allowing people to exploit you. This distinction matters. You can be sincere and still have boundaries. You can help for Allah and still say no when something is beyond your capacity. You can forgive and still protect yourself from repeated harm. Sincerity is not the same as becoming a place where people unload every burden without care. Do good with wisdom, not with self-destruction. Sometimes Allah may delay people's appreciation to teach you sincerity. If every kind action immediately brought praise, the heart might become attached to praise. If every sacrifice was recognized, you might begin serving recognition instead of Allah. Being unnoticed can purify your intention. It teaches you to ask, is Allah enough as my witness? When the answer becomes yes, your heart becomes strong. There will be times when you feel deeply unappreciated. You may be the one who always checks on others, but nobody checks on you. You may be the one who helps your family, but your effort is treated as normal. You may work hard in silence while others receive attention. This pain is real. Bring it to Allah. Do not let it turn you bitter. Say, "Oh Allah, I did what I could for your sake. Do not let my heart become resentful." A sincere heart keeps doing good, but it also learns to choose wisely. Not every request must be accepted. Not every person deserves unlimited access. Not every situation is your responsibility. If you are giving only because you fear rejection, pause and return to Allah. If you are helping while secretly hoping someone will love you more, be honest with yourself. Let your good deeds come from faith, not desperation. When you stop waiting for recognition, you stop keeping emotional accounts. You stop saying, "I did this, so they should do that." You stop measuring relationships only through returned favors. You begin giving what you can, when you can, for the right reasons. This makes your heart lighter. You no longer feel robbed when people fail to respond the way you expected, because your reward was never fully in their hands. Allah can reward you in ways people never could. People may give a thank you, a compliment, or a favor in return. Allah can give barakah, peace, protection, forgiveness, guidance, and reward in the next life. Why would you trade the reward of Allah for the uncertain appreciation of people? Let this thought strengthen your heart when you feel unseen. The people who never thank you may forget what you did, but Allah will not. The moments you stayed patient, the times you gave despite your own struggles, the words you held back, the help you offered, the tears you wiped from someone's eyes, all of it is known to Allah. Nothing sincere disappears. Nothing done for Him is wasted. So do good, but do it with your heart attached to Allah. Give, but do not become dependent on being praised. Help, but do not destroy yourself. Serve, but remember your limits. Be generous, but seek Allah's pleasure more than people's recognition. This is how good deeds become a source of peace instead of a source of disappointment. 6. Trust Allah instead of depending on people. My beloved brothers and sisters, the heart becomes anxious when it depends too heavily on people. People can support you, but they cannot guarantee your future. They can advise you, but they cannot control the outcome. They can love you, but they cannot protect you from every sadness. They can make promises, but their abilities remain limited. When your trust moves from people to Allah, your heart begins to experience a peace that human support alone can never provide. Depending on people often creates fear. You fear they may leave. You fear they may change. You fear they may stop helping. You fear they may misunderstand you. You fear they may not be there when you need them. These fears grow because your heart believes your safety is in their hands, but your safety has always been in Allah's hands. People are only means. Allah is the source. If one means closes, Allah can open another. Tawakkul does not mean rejecting people's help. Allah often sends support through people. A friend may comfort you. A teacher may guide you. A family member may assist you. A doctor may treat you. A mentor may advise you. We accept these means with gratitude, but our hearts do not worship the means. We know that benefit comes by Allah's permission. This understanding protects us from becoming emotionally enslaved to anyone. When you trust Allah, people's absence becomes easier to bear. You may feel sadness if someone does not show up for you, but you do not feel abandoned by life itself. You say Allah is still with me. You remember that He can bring support from places you did not expect. He can strengthen you directly. He can open a door through someone you never imagined. He can give you patience until the right help arrives. This is why the believer never loses hope. Many people depend on people because they do not trust that Allah can take care of them. They may not say this with their tongues, but their actions show it. They panic when one person leaves, as if Allah has no other way to provide comfort. They become hopeless when one door closes, as if Allah cannot open 10 others. They cling to harmful relationships because they fear being alone more than they trust Allah's plan. Tawakkul teaches the heart to loosen its grip. Trusting Allah means remembering His past care. Think of the moments you thought you would not survive, yet you survived. Think of the problems that once consumed your mind, but eventually passed. Think of the doors that closed and later made sense. Think of the help that arrived when you did not know where it would come from. Allah has carried you before. He can carry you again. This trust also changes how you respond to disappointment. When people fail you, you do not immediately say, "My life is ruined." You say, "Allah may be teaching me where my reliance belongs." You take the lesson without losing faith. You adjust your expectations. You set boundaries if necessary, but you do not let one person's failure make you doubt Allah's mercy. People may be part of your provision, but they are not the owner of it. Your rizq is not in the hands of a boss, a friend, a relative, or any human being. Allah may use people as means, but He is the provider. When you understand this, you work hard but do not humiliate yourself. You treat people respectfully but do not fear them as though they control your destiny. Your dignity remains intact because your heart knows who truly provides. Trusting Allah gives courage. It allows you to make choices that are right even when people disagree. It allows you to step away from unhealthy dependence. It allows you to stop begging for attention from those who do not value you. It allows you to begin again after loss. A heart that trusts Allah is not careless, but it is brave. It knows that the future is not empty. It is held by Allah. There may be times when trusting Allah feels difficult. Your heart may still worry. Your mind may still imagine negative outcomes. This does not mean you have no faith. It means you are human. Tawakkul grows through practice. Every time fear rises, return to Allah. Every time you feel desperate for people, remind yourself that Allah is enough. Every time you make effort, leave the result to Him. Slowly, the heart becomes stronger. Do not depend on people so much that their weakness destroys you. Love them, Thank them, benefit from them, and be good to them. But place your deepest reliance on Allah. Let your heart say, people may help me, but Allah is my helper. People may leave, but Allah is my helper. People may forget, but Allah is my helper. People may be limited, but Allah is my helper. My beloved brothers and sisters, trust Allah instead of depending on people. This is not only a spiritual lesson, it is emotional freedom. It means your heart is no longer controlled by who supports you, who leaves you, who praises you, or who disappoints you. Your peace rests with Allah, and what rests with Allah is always safe. 7. Real happiness comes from a heart content with Allah. My beloved brothers and sisters, real happiness is not found in having every desire fulfilled. It is found in a heart that is content with Allah. Many people have what others dream of, yet their hearts remain restless. They have company, but no peace. They have money, but no gratitude. They have attention, but no contentment. This shows us that happiness is not only about what surrounds you, it is about what fills your heart. A content heart does not mean a heart without dreams. You can want better, work for better, and make dua for better. But contentment means you do not hate your life while waiting for what is next. You do not reject Allah's current blessings because you are focused only on what has not arrived. You say, Alhamdulillah for what I have, and I trust Allah with what I seek. This balance brings peace. When your heart is content with Allah, you stop believing that people must behave perfectly before you can be happy. Someone may disappoint you, but your whole life does not become dark. Someone may leave, but your purpose remains. Someone may misunderstand you, but Allah still knows you. Contentment gives the heart a center that is stronger than changing human behavior. Contentment also protects you from envy. When you see others receiving blessings, you do not feel that Allah has forgotten you. You make dua for them and ask Allah from His bounty. You trust that your portion is written with wisdom. This does not mean envy never whispers, but contentment helps you answer it. You remind yourself that Allah's gifts are not limited. What He gives others does not reduce what He can give you. Heart content with Allah enjoys simple things. It does not need constant excitement to feel alive. It can find happiness in prayer, family, quiet mornings, honest work, good character, and small acts of kindness. It does not wait for a perfect life before it says Alhamdulillah. It notices mercy in ordinary moments. This makes happiness more available because it is no longer tied to rare achievements or perfect circumstances. Contentment grows when you stop arguing with Allah's timing. Many people lose peace because they want everything immediately. They want answers now, success now, healing now, love now, change now. But Allah's timing is not random. Delay may be protection, waiting may be preparation, a closed door may be mercy, a quiet season may be growth. When you trust this, you stop treating every delay as a punishment. The content heart still feels sadness, but it does not become hopeless. It still makes dua, but it does not demand that Allah follow its exact plan. It still works hard, but it does not believe results are only in human hands. It still loves people, but it does not make them the source of its identity. This is a mature kind of peace. It is not based on everything going right. It is based on trusting Allah when things are unclear. One of the greatest signs of contentment is gratitude during ordinary days. Not only gratitude when something big happens, but gratitude for the daily mercies that often go unnoticed. The ability to breathe, to pray, to eat, to sleep, to speak, to learn, to repent, to begin again. These blessings may seem normal until they are taken away. A content heart notices them before losing them. Contentment also allows you to forgive life for not being perfect. You stop waiting for every problem to disappear before you live with peace. You accept that this world is a place of tests, not a place of complete comfort. There will be joy and sadness, ease and hardship, closeness and distance. Through it all, Allah remains. When your heart holds on to Him, the changes of life become easier to carry. The person content with Allah becomes rich even with little. They may not have everything society praises, but they have peace. They may not be surrounded by many people, but they have Allah. They may not receive constant recognition, but they have sincerity. They may not understand every part of their journey, but they trust the one who wrote it. This is a richness that cannot be measured by worldly standards. My beloved brothers and sisters, ask Allah for contentment. Ask Him to make your heart pleased with His decree, grateful for His blessings, patient with His tests, and hopeful in His mercy. Contentment is not always automatic. It is something the heart learns through remembrance, dua, gratitude, and trust. But once it grows, it changes the way you experience life. Real happiness comes from a heart content with Allah. When Allah is enough, life becomes lighter. You stop expecting people to complete you. You stop demanding that the world become perfect before you smile. You begin enjoying what is present, trusting what is hidden, and hoping for what Allah has prepared. This is the happiness that remains even when people change. My dear brothers and sisters, expecting nothing from people does not mean you stop loving them or caring for them. It means you stop making your happiness dependent on what they say, what they do, or how they treat you. Continue to be generous, continue to forgive, and continue to help others for the sake of Allah, but do not let expectations steal the joy from your heart. The believer finds peace by giving without demanding, by loving without controlling, and by trusting Allah with every outcome. When you expect less from people and more from Allah's mercy, life becomes lighter. Disappointments lose their power, gratitude grows stronger, and your heart begins to experience a calmness that cannot be shaken by the changing behavior of others. Place your trust in Allah, appreciate the blessings you already have, and remember that the happiest life is the one built on contentment, gratitude, and complete reliance upon your Creator.